Hello, everyone. Kendrick and I were in the middle of discussing the Potomac fight, and I had to start recording because we were giving gold. Well, not gold. We were just giving. We were giving.
It was gold enough. It was gold enough.
Gold enough.
Yeah.
And in case you guys didn't see it, so there was a huge fight after cameras were down over on Potomac. It's been researched, analyzed, all of the things. But in case you missed this part, Deborah went to her stories and said something like, "Little Debbie's, don't worry, I'm okay," or some shit like that. "I see you." Who the hell is claiming Deborah as their fave that they're like, "Yeah, I'm a little Debbie"?
She's got to be talking to like the Hostess cakes in her refrigerator because like
the Hostess cakes in her refrigerator.
Like what?
Like
no.
She literally means Little Debbie's.
Exactly.
She was just talking to the pastry.
I'm matching your energy right now. There we go.
Oh, thank you. For those watching, I'm as in the dark and concealed as I can be because I got a chemical peel.
Yes.
A couple days ago, and B, today when I went in for my Botox, I said, "How do I get rid of these lines around my mouth?" And they talked me into filler.
Ooh.
It was a journey. It is an experience. Like Botox is easy. Honestly,
can you talk us through it?
Botox is simple as hell. It's like the needle's teeny tiny. You barely feel it. That's not true. Sometimes it does hurt depending on where they get you.
Right.
But it's like it's so minor, and if you bleed a little, it's like they just kind of clean you up. No big thing. With filler, when they found out I was going to do filler, they come in, they get the numbing cream on you, and I was like, okay, so this is about to hurt. And you definitely need to be like talked through it more, because it's like, all right, you're gonna feel what it feels like is it's a thicker needle, and it feels a little bit more like you can feel it going in more, so you got to really take like an inhale and exhale, go ahead, put it in, and then you feel pressure, like it's because they're pushing the filler in. It's instant though. So like you can instantly see like the difference, right? But it was like, I'm so sore in that area, and I was warned you're going to be sore. It's going to be a little swollen, and it takes like 2 weeks to settle like to what it's normally going to be. I'm not going to lie, I may go back for more because I didn't quite get rid of this wrinkle. No. Kendrick, I'm so insecure about the wrinkle.
You have no wrinkles. Let me tell you something.
I do.
You don't. Like you okay.
I have a filter on this.
No, ourselves, we see like everything that like no one else like cares about. But like, no. Listen, my concern is that you might, like, if you go back, you'll get more, and you're gonna look like Sheree does in that confessional.
Okay, but I think that's like, okay, we're gonna get to that because I had so many thoughts on that thing. I was like, okay. So, but yes, okay. So, guys, that's my take on filler. My doctor is really, really good. Her name is Jessica. Okay. She's over at Jean Rubenstein Dermatology in Studio City. She has an Instagram, but she's like, I hate using it. So like, you could go like to her Instagram. Maybe I'll link her Instagram. Actually, no, she was like, please don't. So never mind. just look for Jessica. I've been to every doctor there for my Botox, and she's the best. She knows how to place it. I love her. And she was very thorough. But yes, if anyone else has had a filler journey, I'm all ears. But the only reason fillers get a bad rap is because some quack doctor is willing to do it. It's like when Lisa Hochstein kept going in for more filler, someone should have been like, girl. Yeah. This, because it's bad advertisement for them. Like as the doctor, like you wouldn't be proud of, you know what I mean? You'd be like, that's not my work. But I guess I just want the money.
What kind of doctor does it? Because it's not a plastic surgeon, right? Like you'd have to. Are those separate things, or do they do that too?
Of course, I'm sure every plastic surgeon is like, that's the easy one. If you're going to a plastic surgeon, they absolutely would be able to give you all that stuff too. Okay. This is at a dermatologist's office, and you can actually get certified, I believe, to inject just Botox and fillers. I believe. Yes, I believe.
You remember that episode of Real Housewives of Miami? They just let like Alexia and Marisol run a fool in that office, right?
This filler's very expensive. Like when they were giving me the quote, she goes, and if you want a little bit deeper, like if these don't catch and you want a deeper one, $700 for that.
Goodness.
Well, that's why when Erica didn't have the money to get all the work done, she looked so different at that reunion that year. The Beverly, remember that one? We were like, what is with her face? It costs money for these housewives to stay looking as young as they do at their age. Seeing Erica's face on that reunion was like, that is what they'd all look like if they just didn't get work done. Yeah. Like, we're all just narrowly escaping aging. I'm coming up on 40 next year, and I'm like, oh, God, I need this to look tight.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always said that, like, you know, if I need it when I get older, I might do it. But I feel like I'm so scared. Like, needles already, like, I've had enough of needles. Like, I know. I'm like, I've had enough of y'all.
Yeah,
because,
I get
like,
that.
I know, like hospitals and stuff. But like, something about it, like going, like, I'm so weird about my eye. I don't know what it is about my eye, but I'm like always like, if that bitch misses and like hits
like,
my
you think it's gonna go in your eye. You know what? I'm sure you're not the only one that has that fear.
I know.
I'm sure. Like if I told the doctor that, she'd be like, oh yeah, people say that all the time.
I'm sure. There's got to be like a phobia name for it too,
right? Yeah, because like the needle going in the eye or something.
Right.
Okay, so that is my Botox and filler journey. No shame in it, ladies and gentlemen. Just do what you got to do. Do what makes you feel good. But if you are Sheree, and I think Sheree got a chin implant, and that's
no. Do you think?
Because her face is remember when Vicky on OC came back too soon after she had got that done? It was giving me the same vibe. Or maybe not a chin implant, maybe just some filler, because they do that too, like so they don't have to put an implant in. But it was like her jawline, her chin, her nose. Like I was just like, what is it? What happened?
My mom called and asked me, and then she came over today, and I had the after show planned because I was getting ready for this. So I had like I'm so glad they put the after show on Peacock now, because like now I just like let it play right after the episode goes on.
I haven't watched it. Oh
yeah, so I watch it every week after the episodes now. It just started last week. The only 2 episodes.
Okay, good.
So she was over here while I was watching the after show, and Sheree, I don't know what's going on, but she looked too, and she was like, who's that woman in the middle? I said, that's Sheree. She was like, Sheree who? I said, Sheree from this show. What do you mean, Sheree who? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, if I had to guess, I think it's just an overabundance of fillers is what I would assume, but I don't know, because, you know, Candy for a while now, for like a few weeks, she's been like constantly saying, she would like scroll her timeline. She's like, Sheree looks like Drew. Like I literally thought that was Drew Sidora. And when I too, it was so funny to me, because when I scrolled like really fast on Instagram one day, Sheree posted a picture. I was like, oh, Drew looks so cute. And then I went back. I was like, oh, that's not Miss Sidora. That is Miss Whitfield. Whoops.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's kind of morphing right now. I don't know what's going on.
Because she was going to the Dr. Simon, whatever his name is, who does like everyone. He does Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner. And he'll post like before and afters. And I remember when it was Sheree. But this was probably last year.
Okay.
So she probably got addicted. And then you start seeing, like, I think you start getting used to, this is what they were saying today at the doctor. You get used to seeing your face with filler. Like suddenly you become more acclimated to it, and then you crave more. So
Are you nervous? Oh my gosh, are you nervous?
Oh my God, no. Because I'm so paranoid about that happening that I'm like, I would not. It's so subtle. Like it's so subtle.
Right. I can't tell. So like but I always think you look good. So but you say you have a filter on. So like I don't know what's going on.
I always have a filter on.
I know. You told me that one day, and I was like, oh, what?
There's always a skin smoothing filter on this thing.
I'm the easiest fooled person on social media.
I need that. That's why we love you. So innocent.
Yes. I like don't know. I'm like, oh, she looks great today. Who is that? They're like, that's a new person. Is who that is.
Okay. What should we do first? Atlanta or RHONY? Because RHONY, I loved it.
Ooh.
Let's do
RHONY was like, since we're just meeting them,
Fresh.
let's do RHONY because that's not going to be as like deep of a dive. Last night's Atlanta like killed me. Like that episode was so good because everybody was so unnecessarily shady to each other that I was like cracking up throughout that whole episode. So let's do RHONY.
Maybe you can make me excited about it because I was kind of like, I'm so bored still of this season.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that awful?
It's all right. It seems to be people either like the show or they're like over it right now. They just feel, I don't know. Maybe we need to do a little, because I think we've got a lot of good pieces in Atlanta. I think like the Candy, Kenya, Drew, honestly, and Sheree and Marlo, I think that works. Sonya, I so hate to say it, but I think she's just kind of an unnecessary piece right now. I think we can take her out and put in 2 new people and see what we can come up with. Like revamp the show a little bit.
I think I'm a little tired of Marlo, actually.
Marlo is a lot to handle. But Marlo is funny to me, so I still like...
Yeah, she has funny lines and things, but I just want to demote her back to friend of and not have to like take on so much of her shit. Yeah. Because it's like I just can't. I'm exhausted. And then it just becomes really catty between Kenya and her, and like it just, so I'm like I'm getting irritated with Marlo's presence. There.
Okay, well then you decide. Which one do you want to do first?
I don't know. Let's do RHONY. How about that? RHONY first. Okay. RHONY works for me. Okay. So if you had to score the premiere episode out of 10, what would you give it?
Oh my God. So first of all, I loved it. I loved all the players. I loved the energy. I feel like there's a housewife for everybody on this show. I was tired of the old guard, so I'm glad they're gone. I'm honestly, and this might like shock some people, I was really high on it. I'm going to give it like an 8.5 because I'll tell you all my reasons. 1, cast was lively, great. I was able to like remember all their names because they all like had like such kind of dynamic personalities or home lives. 2, I felt like the drama was so egregiously petty, and that's what I love in my housewives. I don't need a federal court case every season of a show. I don't need someone who's been cheated on after a 10-year relationship every season. I need like the fact that like they're arguing over cheese. That everything to me. We've gone back to like the roots of Housewives, and I love it. So like everything about this premiere, it just felt fun. It was lively. Like I muted on commercial breaks like I always do, but when it came back, I found myself like ooh, and like I would hit the mute button because like I was ready to see more. Right now, there's no one that like I don't like. There might be someone in that
eventually, of course. But I agree.
I'm high on them right now. I like them, and the Watch What Happens Live after the episode really made me like the casting. It was so chaotic, but I loved it so much.
I loved it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
I loved it because having just been back to New York, I hadn't been there in like over a decade. So having just been there and then watching this, I was like, this actually feels more like New York. To me, this has like a New York energy to it because we got used to seeing such a small little microcosm.
Upper Manhattan. That's all we saw.
That's it. And then if they had to go anywhere else, heaven forbid. But it also made it seem like everywhere else would be trash. But these women are living in fabulous pads.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking, are you kidding me kind of pads in New York City. So it still gave me all the money that I want to see. And it felt like they are really a group of friends who have a history and something they can draw from. They seem to respect each other enough, and it was just an easy, natural. Nothing felt forced to me.
Right. I had to like look up and see like how much Jenna Lyons was worse because I'm just okay. It's damn. I hate it when it's like all over the place, like depending on what site you look at, because like some are saying like it should be like around 50 million. Which I'm like, okay, girl, but then others saying like, around 5 million sounds about right. So
very different.
Very, very different. But she's got millions at least, so we love that for her. And if I had to guess, their shoe closet alone.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you.
That shoe closet.
Yes. If I, it's going to take a lot for me to leave my home. My house is paid off. I don't want to go anywhere. Like, I'm okay here. But my ideal, like, life, I'm going to end up, like, redoing my whole house at some point in life when I become, like, Jenna Lyons Money. But if I could, like, pick out my own, like, place, that's almost identical to what it would look like. I love just to, like, maybe 2 bedroom. I would even say, like, I'm okay with 1 bedroom, a very nice seating area, huge kitchen, like that. I love that. A nice walk-in condo, like, that's the place. But they all have nice homes. I was like,
yes,
everybody. Uber, like, her whole like interior design was everything to me. I'm here for
like,
it.
I liked I liked Psy's place in Brooklyn. Like, are you kidding? Yes, it's just everything I wanted and more.
Yes.
And I like that Jenna's a little odd too. Like, her dog that drinks coffee.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, how the hell did you get that started?
Because my dog will not drink, like, go near anything but water, like nothing.
Yeah. Like, how did you train your dog? I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I'm sure that dog just, like, started, the fact that she puts the coffee in the dog bowl.
Right.
It's not like the dog just, like, drinks her coffee when it's sitting next to her. She's like, I made him coffee. There was milk, there was cream in it. It was like a latte in the dog's bowl.
He was having a good time.
That was an adorable dog too. Don't hate that.
It's got to be for the fabulousness of Jenna Lyons. So
Exactly. I like that they all had what felt like careers. Like, for so long we've been watching these women on RHONY, and it's like, Sonia doesn't do anything. Luann doesn't do anything. Like, they don't really have anything going on. And these were, like, real housewives doing the thing. The taglines. Bryn's is everything.
Love it.
I love to laugh, but make me mad, and I'll date your dad.
Love it.
The fact she's like, I'll say that. Yeah, that's my tagline.
She probably pitched it, honestly, which
you're right.
Love that even more. So,
and they were like, yes, if you're willing to say that, absolutely.
Right. Can we talk about the fact that, because her tagline, may remember, the fact that Uba and Chanel Ayan are actually, like, real life cousins?
I love it.
Okay, this is y'all know I'm black, so I can say it, okay? Sometimes black people, when we say cousin, I'm just like, right. I'm like, we've been cool a long time. That's my girl, that's my boy, like that kind of stuff. But so when she clarified on the show that, like, no, they're actually, like, blood cousins on her mother's side, I, like, gagged. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Y'all are actual? But then when you look at it, you're like, okay, actually that makes a ton of sense. Like,
and I'm like, give us the crossover.
Right.
It's going to be so good when we get, like, a Chanel appearance on RHONY or an Uba appearance over in Dubai. Like,
oh my God. They're both so, like,
over.
Everything too. Like, Uba's outfit on Watch What Happens Live, that, like, green, like, mini suit, like, I love. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Erin, I like Erin. I think she's serving a really good purpose. She's a little serious. They all voted her as the biggest pot stirrer. The one who cries the most. I'm like, cool. She is, when her tagline is totally, it's like the Kyle Richards of taglines. I'm a true New Yorker. The only bull I'll take is by the horns. What?
So Kyle Richards. So Kyle Richards.
In this town,
In Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. It's who, yeah. Jenna's, my lashes may be fake, but I definitely keep it real. I feel like Jenna's energy at the RHONY premiere was so funny, because I feel like even she is like, what am I doing? This is such, and she's not leaning all the way in, like, playing all the game. She's like, okay, I don't know what to say. What's my tagline? Like, you could tell she's like, my lashes are fake, but I keep it real. Okay, how about that?
Right.
And they probably gave it to her.
I feel like she's kind of our reliable narrator in a sense on this show, which you always need, because everyone can't be like the person you don't know. Like, we have to be able to trust somebody on the cast, and I feel like she's that person. So I'm here for everything she gives. Like, she has funny confessionals, but then in a moment she's like, what is actually going on? Like, why are we arguing about cheese right now? Like, we've been arguing about cheese for an hour. So love it.
Yes, totally. Jessel, I always bring the flavor. It's not my fault you don't have any taste. Ooh, I like that.
You know the reason why I love it? Because it was almost like a little subtle shade towards Ramona Singer. Because remember, she had that tagline, and I was like, ooh, love it
that's
even
right.
more.
What was her tagline? I'm not everybody's
I'm an
taste.
Acquired taste.
I'm an acquired taste. If you don't like me, acquire some taste.
Yeah. Which great. I hate Ramona, but great tagline.
Yeah, right.
But now I don't you hate when that happens? Because Renna, I hate every time I have to say it too. But Renna, I mean, it might have been her last season, but that whole hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch. I was like, oh, that is fucking perfect. But you should not be saying that. Mm-hmm. You of all you should be saying
the
that.
karma's coming for you.
You.
Okay.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Alpha.
Sigh. In New York, there's a lot of bad apples, but I'm the baddest of the bunch.
Period.
Work.
Period.
Work. Ubah's is great. The secret ingredient, darling, it's me. And I like
Chanel
that she got a
Ion.
darling in there too. Because it's also a little like dig to Luann, because Luann thought she like owned the word darling for a while. But she doesn't. Okay.
Love it.
Sai is representing Brooklyn, and I love that. I love it all because she's really showing off that house. Unlike, remember Alex and Simon's house in Brooklyn that made me afraid to ever think of going to Brooklyn? But now I'm like, oh, okay, Brooklyn seems cool.
Yes. Brooklyn is a lot here. But Captain America's from Brooklyn, so, you know.
Okay. Jessel has twin boys that are, according to literally everyone, a terror. Like they want to pull their hair out, and then when Bryn was like, when I'm around Sai's kids, my like little maternal instincts start to kick in. I'm like, I want a baby. Then I get around Jessel's boys, and I'm like, nope.
Right. Never
Not
mind.
happening.
I'm good. No.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the drama, and this is what I feel like the fact that there was already drama before cameras were up was a nice touch. Mm-hmm. I don't know like how they were able to, I mean, it's just natural. Like this is how this is just their friends, but it's just crazy to me. Brand new show, brand new cast, and they're able to open on a fight that happened prior.
Yes.
To even filming. So we get to really feel that thing that I love about reality TV, which is we are just dropping right in, kind of like, just observing as opposed to having people acting for us and putting on all that kind of stuff. So she tried to host it. And I love that they kept cutting out the name Catch. But everyone knew exactly like what they were talking about. Mm. So Aaron had tried to host a dinner at Catch, but Sai and Bryn, they didn't want to say to her, we don't want to go to Catch. So they were like, oh my God, we're tired. But then they ended up going out together.
Didn't they go to Olive Garden? Is that where they went?
No, she was like, Bryn was throwing shade saying that Olive Garden was chicer than Catch. No, they went to where did they go? I wrote it down. It's I'll come to it. I have it in my notes somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But then there was like this debate that made Aaron upset, and Bryn's like, I wouldn't be caught dead at Catch. And then she goes, Bryn's the star. She goes, maybe if I had guests in from like out of town from Florida.
And that told me everything I need to know about Catch. Like, I don't need to go. Sorry.
So I worked at Soho House when Catch was opening, and it was like, and a bunch of our servers left because they were like, I'm going to go be happy over at Catch. And of course, surprise, they weren't. But Catch was like the thing for a minute. It was like the place to go. I never went because I'm like, I'm not cool like that. But it was like everyone got photographed, and it was very much like that. But it was a while ago now. And it made me really respect Bryn and Sai for being like, I'm not going to Catch. I'm not like it's not 2012 and I'm an influencer. Like, get out of here.
This is what I love. This is the crap I love. Like, blatantly lying to a friend and telling them, no, I can't, I don't feel well. And then literally uploading pictures
I was
going to
say then posting.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing. But Aaron is mad at Sai because allegedly she came in and was like, what is that? And Aaron said, that's cheese. And allegedly, Sai went, oh, you eat cheese? That's weird. Amazing.
Amazing. And Sai's like, I ate more cheese than anybody. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. And so Sai is, but then Sai gives us a nice character like analysis and says Aaron has a problem with everyone. She's always fighting with someone. So it's like, okay, good to know.
I kind of picked up on that too. She gives me like that kind of person. I love
Totally.
Aaron though, but
Totally.
she gives me that personality. One of those
Very
people
serious.
Just, like, has to have a problem with somebody at some point, like, or it doesn't feel like a complete day. So I get it. She feels like that. Can I say, I'm kind of weird about cheese too, but like not everything. Like macaroni, I'll eat almost anybody's macaroni. I just love macaroni. I love when like my favorite Mexican restaurant just drizzles queso on anything. Like love all of that. I will not eat a Philly cheesesteak.
Okay,
Will
that's
not.
fair.
I don't know what it is. Just like, and then when people ask me, they're like, well, "Why won't you eat one?" I'm like, "It's too much cheese," which is so weird. But it's too much cheese. I'm not gonna eat it.
I think I've only eaten one.
Really?
In my life. Yeah. And I remember being like, this is too much.
It is. It's aggressive.
Yeah.
It's an aggressive food. Yeah.
It's a lot of steak. It's a lot of cheese, you know, like it's a lot of shit.
It is.
I thought, okay, Jessel has her mom helping, but she's like snapping at her mom for not cleaning enough. And then she's like getting mad at her husband for working at the table. But it's because Jenna Lyons is coming over. I can only imagine how stressed out I would be if I had Jenna Lyons. But then in comes Jenna. And she's like, I'm eating an Oreo. And then she just is immediately friends with Jessel's mom and like hugging her. And I was like, do they know each other? No, they just, okay.
Right.
So like Jenna is cool. Okay. Period. Done. Deal.
Yeah.
And she's going to be hosting the first official group gathering, the official girls' night. Obsessed. Obsessed.
You know how I feel about getting a group scene every episode. I need at least one.
You need it. Oh, we need it. Oh, I agree. That should be a requirement. But Erin has her Shabbat family dinner at her house. You get her father, her brother, her sister, her mom, everything. And she's been married to Abe, her husband, for a long time. They met at 25. I'm getting the impression that they're very happy. Was that the impression you were getting? Or
Jessel and her
Erin.
Okay. Yeah. To me, they seem like a happy-go-lucky couple.
Yeah. Okay,
I get it. I'm willing to believe it right now, but you know, some people, according to reality TV stars of days past, some people come on reality TV to get divorced. So I don't know. We'll see.
Sai and David. This was when Sai was announced as a cast member. I remember people talking about something with her husband, and I didn't remember what it was, but then on Watch What Happens Live, Andy covered it and said a lot of people asking why you never post your husband on your social media. And I think that was like the big thing. There was like, everyone was trying to dig up everything they could. I don't blame them. You know, if you're going to announce a cast, we're going to do research.
Right.
Because you guys don't tend to. But she's a digital content creator. That is her official title. And that bitch is rich.
Right. Like,
right?
Can I have some? Like,
what can I have? Like, okay. But then she tells her husband about Erin being upset with her for insulting her cheese board. This is what Brynn told her. And like, let's keep it going. I'm so excited.
Love it.
I love that none of the women understand the theme of the party. They're like black, gold, khaki, leopard. I don't know.
What?
Khaki.
Like,
I didn't know khaki was a color either. I would have assumed she meant khaki clothes, like a khaki pant.
Right. Like I knew khaki was a color, but like I don't acknowledge khaki.
I don't acknowledge
as a color.
it.
You know, like
but I
if
refuse
you say
to
khaki,
acknowledge it as
right. If you say khaki to me, I'm thinking the pants. I'm not thinking the color. Like we don't take khaki seriously. Stop it. No.
Khaki doesn't count.
No.
Does not count. Jessel tells Erin what she heard about Sai, that Sai heard from Brynn that she was upset about the cheese board. And then Erin's like, that is so annoying. Now she's mad at Brynn for like, retelling the story wrong. So now we've got a lot of really good petty dynamics set up.
Yes.
And it's great. And it's so great. Jenna has a son. I didn't realize that she shares joint custody with. The son was like 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah. Like early high school years. Yeah.
Jenna's house is amazing, super cool, but Erin has to throw like her real estate shade at it, and I liked that. She's like, I'm just walking around like, you can't resell this thing.
Well, it's Jenna Lyon's apartment. She doesn't need to.
I don't think she's ever leaving. She had that feeling, and she's like, I'm not going anywhere. This is like my place. So
you don't. Cool. She's like, Erin's thinking about it from like the perspective of like a family moving in there. So like, no, that's like
why
a
are they doing that?
Exactly. Like, no, leave her alone. She's okay.
She is perfect. There's like a little tension at the party before Brynn gets there, and Sai comes correct.
I'm sorry, wait. Let me interrupt you really, really quickly. That's what I want to ask you. I opened my mouth and I could not remember what I want to ask you at first. Is Brynn mixed? Is that what they said?
She's half black, half white.
Now, let me tell you. Black people, if you're listening, y'all know, we can normally spot a cousin a mile away. Like, even if they just like, the brown paper bag rule, or they just have like, 1/16 black in them, we can normally spot that. She had me fooled. I did not know that until I saw, like, I don't know if you posted like as a part of like that collage or what it was, but when I saw something, I was like, man, what? Like, I don't know. Maybe I need to see her in her, like, this is so dumb to say, but like her natural habitat. Not habitat, but like, you know what I mean? Like her, I don't know, wig off, like something. Because she had me fooled.
That's her hair.
Is it?
But you can see, okay, so you know who she actually reminds me of?
Who?
Meghan Markle.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember I went to high school with Meghan.
Like, yeah, Meghan, I'm like, that made sense to me because like I can see it. I spotted it in Meghan a mile away. I'm like, you with a sister. Okay. Yeah, like a mile away. I never thought. But normally we can. Like, black people, we pick up on black. We can always like, okay, she not, she in a little percent. Okay, maybe her dad could, we pick up on some stuff. Brand, that knocked me on the ground. I could not tell. And I'm curious to know if other people did, because like maybe I'm getting older. My radar might be off. I don't know.
No, it became kind of a debate in the comments about it too. But her dad is black.
Okay. Girl, he need to pop up on the show. Let me see him.
And if you are a Patreon member, I went into like way more details about the RHONY premiere. And this will be just for the Patreon. This next section is for Patreon only. If you want to hear it and you want more exclusive content, head to the link in the description and sign up to be a Grand Dame or the Moment. Okay, let's get back to the show now.
Okay, didn't know that. Listen to me.
But you can see Brynn's hair, like, you can see it kinking. Like, I can spot it like kinking a little bit, because as someone who has naturally curly hair, and I know how hard it is to keep that shit straight.
Yeah.
I can see how probably like it's a point, she like probably hates it when it curls up. She probably always wants it like, you know what I mean?
It looks like it, because I thought it was just like a little new growth. Or I didn't know what it was, so I was just like, okay, well, white girls got a kitchen too. I didn't know, so
yeah, no, I know.
Teach me,
and she probably has got that her whole life. Poor thing.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah.
But Brynn shows up and she's like, I'm scared. She's all scared of Erin. She knows she's in trouble. She knows. But Sai owned up to it. Sai, like when Erin explained why she was upset, she's like, you don't tell me you're tired and then go out to Casa Cipriani, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it was called, I think. She's like, don't do that. And Sai was like, okay, yeah, fair. I'll own up to that. I was like, respect. Okay. But then in comes Brynn. And Brynn was like, she would have avoided that conversation if she could have. Because then they get into like fun, dirty talk about their favorite porn and how they are in bed. And then Erin gets a little dirty birdie and starts saying shit that maybe she shouldn't. Maybe her husband wouldn't like. Uba is addicted. They're like, what is your addiction? And she's like, bananas. Isn't that so Chanel?
It is.
Such a Chanel answer. It's so her. Like, I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah, totally. But then they finally talk about the cheese.
Wasn't Chanel was like, every time she came to someone's house, she would like bring some kind of like food gift, right? She like, one time I think it was like onions, and then another time it was like, it was always something in the fruit or vegetable family. So yeah. Look at them.
It's a thing. I know. They kick off about the cheese. It's technically, guys, it wasn't really about the cheese. It was that Brynn said that she said that, and that's not what she said. But of course, it's so much better to dumb it down and be like, over cheese.
Right.
Meanwhile, Sai's like, there was fondue. That cheese looked amazing.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted that fondue. That fondue looked real good.
Let me ask you, who do you believe? Aaron, or do you believe Brynn? Like, do you believe Brynn's story, like that Aaron actually said it? Or do you think Aaron is more reliable in this situation?
I'm going to go with Aaron didn't exactly say that, but she said something like it. You know, like maybe Brynn paraphrased.
Yeah.
But I could see Aaron being like, and then she was like, what is that? I'm like, a cheese board.
Right. Cut and dry like
and
that.
That's it. And like, and then she was like, it's so weird. She asked me what a cheese board was. Like, it's obvious, you know, I don't know, something like
a game of telephone is probably what it was.
And it's so not serious, but it's also so serious.
Right. It's my entire existence. Exactly.
It's important. I need you guys to get to the bottom of it.
Right.
And then they have like, now we know that Brynn and Aaron are going to have this kind of fun, like sister goofy Ramona Sonia type bullshit because everyone needs that. But like when they talk, they get over it, but then they start like trying on her clothes in Jenna's room, trying on clothes, and then she breaks the chair. It's like, you know, and they're just laughing hysterically. And then I love when they come out and Jenna, clearly in the confessional, they were like, okay, so how'd you feel about them coming out in your clothes? And she's like,
because I think they ripped a little piece of it too.
Because she goes, I was okay until I saw them going together and sequins and lace. And then sure enough, they got stuck.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jenna, for y'all, you know, curious minds out there, Jenna did confirm that the chair was already broken. So they didn't they didn't break her chair. So that's one plus of the night. There we go.
Yep. From Watch What Happens Live, what was the part that was fun was when they had to like vote who was the most.
Yeah.
Aaron was the biggest podster and crybaby, and sloppiest, drunk, and horniest was Brynn.
Yes.
Andy loves her. You could tell Andy's like, we have a star. She's meant to be on reality TV.
Yes, absolutely. This is like a well-rounded cast.
Totally.
And of course, like my reality TV producer brain, now I'm wondering like what that seventh housewife that was announced, that I'm wondering what she would have gave on this show. Like now I'm curious about her, but I don't know. Because, you know, it was the whole, like what you posted, like it was about this, but then it was actually about a fight with Brynn and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. So it feels like it worked out for the best, though. Okay, let me tell you. First time that they bleeped out Catch in the episode, I thought they were bleeping out her name. I was like, oh, that's how they're going to do it. I was like, oh. So I was like,
at Lizzie's. Oh,
yes.
Shit. Okay, that's a good guess.
Like, ooh. So I was like, okay. I was going to text you because I was like, you were wondering how they're going to, like, not acknowledge this person. And my thought is they had been filming for a while and she didn't come to much anyway. So I'm thinking they were filming for a while and that's how we got like this amazing cheese drama. And then they were like, let's just start at this episode and go forward.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too now, is they were like, we're just not going to. Well, according to a source, I can't reveal who it was, but it's very solid. That she was only in a few scenes. Like she didn't film a lot. She was kind of more like friend of. So, okay, I'll give you guys that.
That's what I would have guessed too. So perfect. Okay.
Let's get into Atlanta.
Okay. I'm so like bummed you didn't love it. I loved this episode. Like I went back and watched. So first of all, you know me, it's always a win when we get a group scene. And one, it's a win when we get a group scene, but it's a double win when we get a group scene with everybody, like friends of, like everybody included. And we got the husbands there too. That brunch scene cracked me up so much because it was literally shade after shade after read after read after shade after read after the and like reveal after reveal. Like it was a lot going on. So like the first first 20 minutes of the episode was perfect for me. I was like, I love all of this because literally nobody was safe from shade. And Candy was on one at that, like her confessional. She was like throwing those darts out there and she was cracking me up. Like she said what the fuck she said. So all of that. Loved it. But then on top of that, we got like a forced group scene at the end because they're on vacation now. And so like you have no choice but to be in a group because of that. So I'm like, okay, so this is perfect. So now we're out of the country. We're somewhere else. Now we actually have everyone here to like this fake ass healing journey and all this kind of stuff. So I was into it. I was into it from start to finish. I loved the episode. My Sunday night was great on Bravo.
It was great on Bravo.
I was here for it.
I'll give you that the brunch was good and ridiculous. I'll give you that. I think I'm just maybe a little exhausted from their stories. Like, I'm exhausted of She by Sheree, and I'm like, Sheree, just admit it, okay? Just admit you fucked it up. And I think I need a little less delusion for once from her, which I rarely say. I like a lot of delusion.
Sheree is the most delusional, so that won't be happening anytime soon. But
yeah.
My theory, so like for those of y'all listening, I dropped a new episode this week, and it was a lot of shit. It was way too much. But I dropped the episode, and one of the things that I said on there, I theorized about like why Atlanta is having such a polarizing view with because like some people love it, I'm not having a problem with this season, like I'm okay with it, but like if people, I understand where the criticism is coming from. It's just it's not the Atlanta that like people are watching 5, 6 years. It's not. It's a different Atlanta. So I get the criticism. Like I'm not jaded enough to be like no, it's perfect. It's what it, totally. I'm definitely not that person. You know me, but my theory is that Bravo they have them coming on Sunday nights, which they always have. We know that. But the problem now is that Atlanta literally doesn't get a chance to build momentum like other Housewives shows do. Because like we literally get 4 episodes. Oh, we're off this week. Come back the next one. Then we're here again. So then like if we love the first 4 episodes and then the 5th one is terrible, we are remembering that like we hated this episode. So like we're not rushing to get back once we finally come. And then we see another 3 or 4 episodes. Oh, we got to take another break because there's an award show this week. So like Sunday nights are just like horrible for reality, like anything other than like HBO, honestly. Like it's horrible because you have so many interruptions, like Sunday Night Football or award shows, or we're in awards, like all this kind of stuff. And that's one thing I've hated, because like I feel like we've gotten interrupted now like twice, and we're only on episode 10. And so it's like, damn, we can't even like Beverly Hills goes straight through. Like you might out of the 20 whatever episodes get one like week where it's like we literally can't because like the State of the Union, like presidency is on. But like other than that, it is straight through. You're building, the conversation is going.
Yeah.
That cannot happen with Atlanta, and it's so frustrating. So it's like I hate that like they always, the breaks fall when it's like an episode that like wasn't as good as like the one previously or something. So it's always like Atlanta has no choice but to leave a bad taste in your mouth sometimes, and I hate that for them. But that's just my own theory. What I think is like one of the things I think is happening on this show. But I also think too that like people are tired of Marlo and think that like the producers are giving her a good spin and like this kind of stuff. And it's a lot. It's a lot. That half of the group can be really frustrating. But then I know you get frustrated with Kenya too. So it's a lot of frustration pieces like on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will agree that this brunch scene was good. Like it was out of left field that Ralph was like, Ralph is trying to make he's trying to make the Atlanta husbands like the Jersey husbands. That's what he's doing. He's trying to do like, because he's like, we all get along, and like, I'm just going to have all the guys come over and we're going to cook. And it's like, what?
The problem is Jersey husbands, okay, like they great personalities, whatever. In my opinion, I don't think we care enough about husbands to like give them that much. Like Jersey, okay, y'all have like gotten them so ingrained in the storyline, and that's really rare because New York, no husbands. Atlanta, during a time had like so when you had Apollo, Peter, Todd, like that whole thing, okay, like that worked, but like child, don't nobody care about Ralph ass.
I know.
Beverly Hills. Who are we talking? PK and Mauricio.
And they have ducked out because they got in so much trouble that like last season they were like, I'm only doing like one scene.
Exactly. In my opinion, the only other like group of husbands I care about on Bravo are the Married to Medicine guys, because they're just as funny as the women. Otherwise, like we don't care about the husbands. So like Ralph, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. And the difference with Married to Medicine is that it's Married to Medicine, and some of them are doctors that like Eugene. So he has to be just as a part of the whole thing because it's just a different structure on that show.
By the way, Dr. Eugene is looking good nowadays.
I know. What
Have
did
you
he
seen
lose?
him?
Like 40 pounds? Good for him. That is not easy.
I can't call him Big Genie anymore. Like, that's what Mariah used to call him. So, like, I'm so used to calling him Big Genie. But, like, you're Little Genie now. So,
yeah,
wow.
I'm happy for him. But, yeah, I forgot that Kenya knows Bryce, Courtney's, like, baby daddy. You could feel Courtney, like, getting more and more mad because Kenya was like, oh my God, Bryce. And she was like, okay, you're not, because Kenya and Courtney aren't getting along. So she's like, okay, all right. That's cool. That's not, I don't care.
Candy,
go ahead.
So I watched both the after show and I got through most of Speak on It. I literally just ran out of time, so I didn't get to watch like all of it.
Totally.
But she had Oliver Twist on there, and I love him too. But they were they talked about it because you remember Candy didn't recognize him either. Both of them were saying how they didn't recognize him, and he asked, he was like, "Okay, so why do y'all all keep saying like y'all don't recognize this man? Like I know it's been a long time, but like what?" Every time they talk about this guy, I completely forget like who he is. I think he was in Cut Close, and he was like. He's been in like Tyler Perry plays and movies and like all this kind of stuff. I wouldn't have recognized him either. He just does not look like he used. Like I'll send you a picture, but like
years have not been kind.
Exactly, and I didn't want to say it, but yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's always sad.
He needs to be in front of you at the line because you don't need to be there. Like let him take your spot. At the place.
Come get some Botox and some fillers, buddy. Wow, that says a lot.
Yeah. Ooh. Haven't been kind, but yeah, it's boy.
Okay. Do you think? Oh wait, hold on. I'm not done with this part. Kenya and Sheree, they don't have their men there, but Marlo shows up with Scott Lee. And Candy's confessional, maybe when I'm talking about this episode, I'll like it more. Because now that I'm seeing it written out, it's actually really funny.
Right.
She goes, I'm surprised he's Marlo's type because she usually says she needs a lot of money to do anything. You know, whore behavior. Yeah. She said the hard R. Horror behavior. Not hoe behavior, horror behavior.
And you can tell, like, you know, we've gotten, like, in the past couple episodes, we've gotten some of the interviews or confessionals that you can tell were picked up like after the first batch. So like this was like the later ones when they've like, you know, gotten into it. Yes. So like the pink one and then Sheree and her green with the new face.
With the new face?
So you can like tell that, and you can tell like Candy is over Marlo's shit. So she is like not holding back at all. She's like, you know, whore behavior. Yeah.
Whore behavior. And I had to rewind it. I'm like, did she say what I thought she said? Yeah. She did. Okay. She doesn't, because after what she did with the nephew or whatever, no, she's done.
And this was the first of like 5 grenades that Candy threw at this brunch that like had me cracking up too. So
I hope I got them all. If I miss any, then please feel free to fill them in.
Okay.
Was Kenya really insulted? You think that Drew was in Todd's movie and not her? I think she was. I think she was
you think she was
pretending that she wasn't mad and that maybe I just want her to be actually mad. But Drew throws really good shade in her confessional and she's like, Kenya, your acting career ended 20 years ago. Time to let it go.
Yeah.
She's like, when was Twa? 22 years
right.
ago.
Literally in 2002. So yeah, 20 years ago. Kenya got on social media too. Because, you know, on Sunday, she's really good about being, like, active on social media, like, responding to fans, like, that kind of stuff. So, I think it was, somebody brought up, why did Drew say something? And Kenya was like, I don't know. I've been so supportive of Drew. Like, why would she say my acting career is over and like all this kind of stuff? And I was like, Kenya, if that was like the definition of fun shade, like you and Drew are friends, like that to me, that felt like
so she
grabbing at now she's trying to like go back and like grab at like something to be mad at. So
see, this is where Kenya loses me a little bit, is where she takes that shit too serious. I'm like, you better have a sense of humor about the fact that you haven't really acted in a long time.
Right, because I'm pretty sure we've seen Kenya shade Drew's career in the past multiple times. So it's like, Kenya, stop. Like, no.
It's very on brand for Kenya to get mad at someone for doing exactly what she did.
Exactly.
That is Kenya in a nutshell. You know? So Roy FaceTimes Kenya at the table and immediately Marlo goes, oh, I dated him. And everyone is like, oh no, please God. no, I can't. Like, we can't do another round of this. And she's like, well, it is. But Kenya fully ignores it. Kenya's like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Let me go outside. Like, she doesn't give it any time of day, which is maybe why I'm a little exhausted of Marlo. Because it's like the stuff she's throwing out, no one's picking up anymore because they know her tricks.
Yeah.
And then later in the episode, I'll get into my thoughts on what Sonia was trying to say about the DMs and how it's like we'll get into that because I need to yeah, they should be, honestly. Yeah. I'm over Sonia.
Sonia's doing a lot of like two-faced backstage.
It's too much. It's like that's the consistency is that she's going to be two-faced.
Exactly. Weird.
That's not good. And it's like you're not even doing it in a fun way. Like Sheree, when she's bone collecting, it's so funny because she's like she's just better at it. Mm-hmm. And then Sonia ends up, because Sheree will also own up to it. Like when you bust Sheree, she'll be like, yeah, I told her that. But Sonia will be like, no. What I told her was, and then we have to listen to this weird explanation. I'm like, just own it, girl.
Right. Just exactly. You know, when Sheree's trying to be messy because she's like, she'll tell you like straight out, but then when she's not trying to be messy and she's got actually like caught in the lie, that's when she starts stuttering. She starts stuttering and getting real nasty. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, Sheree brings up the chef, and she's this part was really funny because Drew goes, "Why are we whispering?" Because Sheree's like, "Is that the chef that you?" And she's like, "Why are you whispering?" No, it's not. Like, please, that is not what it was. And Drew clarifies that, like, no, she cooked some food, wanted us to pay her. She's suing her for $1,000, which is ludicrous. Right.
But Sheree isn't done, and she's like, "So the chefs are getting paid, girl."
This was so funny to me for some reason. And Drew's it's like, so petty.
Drew's so right. She goes, they're trying to make me out to be like Sheree. Mm-hmm. I pay my best. Sheree is so desperate to pull anyone down with her. Yeah. But Sheree, no one's down as low as you, girl.
Like Sheree, you've been on TV for it's been 15 years now. This show has been on air. You are notorious for not paying people at this point. Like, look how long it took to get Chateau Sheree built. Look how long it took to get Sheba Sheree. Like, Sheree, stop it. Stop it.
And we've even watched her, like, when Andy has brought up, like, well, there was, because she's like, who have I not paid? She'll always do that. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, there's a list. So then, like, when Andy brings someone up, she'll be like, okay, well, here was the thing with that was. I'm like, so see, you don't pay for whatever the reason is. Because
there's always a thing. There's always a thing, no matter what.
And so, yeah, you don't pay.
Yeah.
But here's what I wrote down. When I first saw the new confessional from Sheree, I wrote, Sheree's makeup in her platinum blonde wig and purple top is different. She looks like a whole other person. Then I wrote, wait. Then I wrote again, wait. I wrote again, is this a new chin?
Oh, I see now. You got me wondering now.
Go back and look, because it's like in here, and it's either an implant or it's filler. Because it was like all around her mouth. It was like the way she like moved her mouth was it was crazy.
That's what's wild to me, because like I get like people like that kind of like, invasive cosmetic surgery. I get it. People like, if they have insecurities or whatever, they do what they're going to do. Sheree, that's so weird to me from Sheree though, because people will say a lot about Sheree. You don't pay your bills. You broke. They'll say a lot about Sheree. One thing they have never said about Sheree is that she was not absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. So like, I don't understand like where a new chin would like even need to come into effect. What is happening?
You know what? I blame Martell.
Oh God, don't tell me that.
I feel like he's making her insecure and she doesn't want to admit it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like blaming Martell. Let's just blame him for fun. We
can find things to blame
easy,
for him all the time.
Like, it's so easy to do. It's like, it's convenient. We'll just put it on.
And he's currently putting Melody Holt through absolute hell, so.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Tell me
it's
everything.
A whole thing. Melody has like found out that like he gave the the baby mom that he had a baby with her outside the yeah, that baby he gave her, they call her coleslaw. I think her name was Ariane, but
oh my God.
They call
her coleslaw.
I guess him and Melody recorded like a sex tape like while they were married. Like like he gave it to her.
No,
I guess she was like blackmailing
Why?
Melody with it and stuff like that. So like Melody's trying to put both of them in jail right now. I'm like, do it. Put them in jail. Like, are you kidding me?
So do you see what we're talking about, people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see? Oh, that is disgusting.
A mess. Martella's
Ew.
a mess.
He's horrible.
And of course he's Sheree's type. Like, are you kidding me?
Because she only likes the really awful, awful, awful men.
That's it. If he was Prince Charming, she'd have no interest.
Right? Sheree makes a joke because she's like, okay, we're going to go to Portugal. And then she's like, Courtney, you need to come to be crisis management. And then Kenya makes a joke like, I don't know if Courtney's the one for that because Courtney and Candy, whatever. And then at first, Courtney was playfully touching Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
But then after Kenya said that, she was like, okay. And then like touched her again. And Kenya goes, please stop touching me. Please keep your hands to yourself. And Courtney starts to get defensive, but I love Drew. The way Drew went, well, she's letting you know her boundary.
Yes.
Okay. Drew's learning some therapy stuff.
Yes.
Right? Even with Sheree at the end of the episode, I'm like, this is some therapy shit from Drew. Like
it's just that Ralph's ass isn't learning anything. That's the
he's
problem.
not doing any. He's making everything harder. But like,
right?
She's growing.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph,
go Drew. And my like take on this thing, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like Kenya to me like wasn't expecting Courtney to like rebuttal her. I think she was expecting her to like take it on the chin. And so when she rebutted, then it kind of became like a don't touch me, like don't do it. So like that kind of thing.
Now we'll go there.
Right. I don't know. It felt more than like what it actually was to me. So, and then I don't know. Maybe she just, new target, new couple of episodes to have somebody to beef with. I don't know.
Kenya likes to do that. She knows how to keep stuff stirred and stuff going. Courtney should be grateful, honestly, because it keeps her relevant. Like,
yes.
I said this about Tamra on Orange County, because Tamra being like, I wouldn't say all this about Jen if I didn't care about her. And I was like,
oh God.
Translation. If I didn't care about her, I'd give her no storyline and no camera time.
Exactly.
Because there have been people that have come on the show that like later Tamra was like, I knew about X, Y, and Z. And she's like, I just didn't bring it up. So I'm not about to give them moments.
Right.
So that's what, Jen is now going to be relevant and like maybe, and probably back next season because Tamra has done this.
She's actually a really good addition, I think, to the show.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think she fits right in. You want to know why? She's the last like naive housewife that they'll ever find, I think.
He's not cheating. Yeah, no, you like me.
And like doesn't know how like the filming process works, and really thought she was just coming on the show to be Tamra's buddy, and she's like, I'm confused. It's like that we rarely get that. So because like Noella just was so aware of everything, and she was like, she came in with storylines,
Yes.
But Jen is like
Jen, like Dr. Jen, was just the most boring person ever come on TV. So
she should have never done television. She was too. No. Okay, so now we're at the part where they're flying there, and Candy has been sick. Now I have questions.
Okay, I've got a few answers. So okay.
How? Oh, good, because you watched Speak on it, right? Mm-hmm. Because when she said both ends. I'm like, in an airplane bathroom, there's a teeny tiny sink. Was it all over the bathroom?
She said the bathroom was pretty messed up by the time like she got out of there. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, there's a lot of context I can add to this, and it's all incredibly ridiculous. So buckle up. Okay. Candy was saying like, she had gotten, she said, she was asking the guy because all of them were from Atlanta that was like film and Speak on it. She goes, do you remember when there was like that 24-hour bug that was going around like back in December and like all this kind of stuff? And he was like, yeah, I remember. And she was like, all of us caught it. Like we all like had it kind of like bad. So she had the bug like during that time. So like she shouldn't have really flown there. She woke up that morning. She said she could barely get her makeup done because she was like, it started at home. She was throwing up and pooping all over like her bathroom. So like she said it was horrible there. She was on the plane. All the girls said they kept looking back. They said we didn't see Candy like the entire flight. We thought we left her like in Atlanta. We didn't know what was going on. She was in there like literally like constantly turning around and like switching,
That's okay, so that was my question.
Yeah. Because so it was all going in the toilet, but Kenya, okay.
Oh.
This is the most ridiculous thing of it all. Candy left this part out because, I watched the after show and speak on it. Kenya said that they had to come. This is so stupid. Kenya said they had to come with a wheelchair to get Candy so that she didn't leak everywhere when she got off the plane. Kenya said it was like a trail of like where not to go, so they had to like put her in a wheelchair and like wheel her like to where they like needed them to be. Like it was that bad.
Oh my God. They were not nearly grateful enough for Candy being there.
Right. I would have stayed home. Like no.
And she already got so much hell for like missing stuff, so that's why she wanted
exactly
to do it.
What she said. Yes,
and she's like, I don't want to hear it. But like they weren't grateful. They weren't like, Candy, thank you so much. Like,
right.
They should have been doing that more. Instead, they were like, Candy, are you like? They didn't even ask.
Right, because apparently
it was just edited out.
Marlo said she thought she didn't know what was happening on the plane. Like she didn't know what was going on. She thought it was just at the airport because apparently it was bad at the airport too. So it's like, well, dang, everyone's seeing like that she's like in bad shape, but like
they're letting her. They're like, well, she better toughen up.
Right.
I don't like it. That's so sad. Like she's genuinely sick.
Oof.
I cannot even. I did get sick on a plane one time. I had a stomach issue on a plane one time, and it was horrible. But it was nothing like Candy's.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm like traumatized. I can't even. Oh my God.
I won't lie to you. I don't know if it was because we were eating so good in California when we just came, but the flight back, I was so gaseous on that plane.
Oh no.
I don't know what was going on, but like, you know what? I don't give a damn. This is Spirit. I feel like there's any way you fly.
Spirit.
Y'all, that was my first and only time flying Spirit. I will never do it again. Worst experience of my life.
That. Everyone
Worst
says
experience of my life.
Why was it so bad?
Oh my! First of all, we were supposed to have like 2 full days out there. We just going for like a weekend trip for a friend's birthday. Supposed to have like 2 full days out there, a little more than 2 actually. We were supposed to take off at like 1:00 that afternoon. We didn't leave until 8 that night.
Oh God.
8 that night. And so it's a 3.5, 4 hour flight to Los Angeles. So like we didn't get in until like close to, by the time we got to the hotel, I think it was because we did stop at In-N-Out. But by the time we got to the hotel, it was like, you have to. It was like 2 a.m. when we got to the hotel. So like we had lost like a full day, like a full like moment. So like we just had to like really like make the most of Saturday.
Because you would have had, if it was 1:00, you would have had all day.
Like we had like reservations that night. It was a lot. It was bad.
Oh.
And then so we were on the plane, like when we were going there, we were on the plane at 1:00. They made us deboard because there was some kind of like electrical issue. Like the pilots were just like in there for the longest time. We were on there for like 45 minutes and they finally came on. They were like, well, guys, we hoped it would fix itself, but it just won't. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? Like, we hoped it'd fix itself, but it just won't. So
no. Yeah,
they know
Spirit,
what the issue
you're
is.
Done.
Yeah. All that to say, do not fly Spirit. Sorry. I if they try to advertise, then they're great. We love Spirit, but otherwise, no, fuck Spirit. Don't fly.
No.
Them.
I actually think I would refuse a Spirit sponsorship.
You should.
I think I would, because I'm like, I can't pretend, guys. I
would feel bad lying to the people like that. Like I haven't flown.
I
before.
refuse. I won't do that. No. Everyone knows Spirit is bad.
Right. The gate agent. That's what really blew my mind, because like we were surprisingly. I don't know if it was well. 2 of them had taken edibles, so don't mind those 2. But us other 2, we hadn't. But we were all like still like regardless of, we were still in like great moods. Like we were just like, you know what, we're gonna make the most of this. We'll be in the airport. The gate agent, like having to like cancel all this stuff and like get other people back on the plane and stuff, had the worst attitude. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Of
course they did.
Yeah,
they hate their life.
There. You're right.
They hate working at Spirit. It's the only one they could get, and they're like, I'm just trying to get up to Delta.
There's got to be like hierarchies in like how that works, because boy, oh boy.
If I could only fly Delta, I would. I love Delta. I've always had good experiences.
Delta and American for me, because I actually do really like American. American's like, I feel like Delta is just like the cookies aren't as good, but like,
still, fair. The cookies are very disappointing.
Yeah,
they're dry as hell. I'm like, this isn't a cookie.
Right.
Don't call this a cookie. Call it like a dry biscuit or something.
Right.
That's what it is. It's not I got so excited when they're like, we'll be handing out cookies. I'm like, yes, I didn't get any sugar when I was in the airport. And then I was like, this rabbit food? It's like a dog treat. So bad.
I will say though, okay, y'all, the trick, we've gotten so off track, but the trick is if you're going to get you some like, some Delta cookies and keep them. I normally keep them for home, and then like I will like because the flight attendants know like I'm gonna ask for a couple. So like it comes 2 in a pack. I normally wind up with like 8 by the time I get off the plane because I'm like collecting them. If you take those and get you like some, you got to find you a McDonald's that actually has a working ice cream machine. But if you just get like a cup of soft serve from McDonald's and dip those babies in there, ooh, I'm telling you, that is a time to be had. I'm telling you.
I can see that because it has to be tough enough to withstand the ice cream, and those are.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That's like cardboard almost.
Exactly.
Okay, pro tip, guys. Pro tip. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Only because we love
the culinary masterpiece.
Exactly.
that Kendrick has.
Get
him on the bear. Get him.
Carmi ain't got shit on me, okay?
Carmi ain't got shit on him. Did you hear what he just said? McDonald's ice cream and shitty Delta cookies.
Boom.
You
better get into it.
Sheree gives a speech when they're on the bus about how this is a trip for healing. And so we all know what that means. It won't be a trip for healing.
Yes.
For healing, as Whitney would say.
Yes.
My healing journey. The hotel is stunning. The tile on the ground, the walls. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
You know what? Sheree has to have like caviar taste on like a, I don't know what kind of budget, but like
for real.
She always like, that's one person, like if I had to have someone like plan a trip in Atlanta, it's gonna be either Marlo or Sheree because they're always gonna go way above and beyond. No, not Kenya, definitely not Kenya. And it's always so like even the restaurant itself and the room they sat in, beautiful. Like wow, stunning. Good 10s across the board, Sheree. Good job.
As Marlo said, Sheree's Portuguese palace compared to Kenya's Motel 6.
Accurate.
I got so scared. I don't know why I got scared, but like I'm triggered by Ralph. When Drew was like, Ralph is in Vegas on a work trip, I was like, oh my God, instantly scared. But the fact that she called it a work trip when the work is that he's going to be in Chocolate City, AKA the Black Magic Mike. We already saw his sexy scene with Drew that they forced us to watch. Like my eyes were burning.
Right.
And now I have to have a mental image. They better not show one fucking second of that. I swear to God, I don't want a flashback. I don't want any footage, please. Jesus.
We're going to see it. I just know we're going to see it.
Because he can't wait. He's like, oh yeah. Oh, he just gives me the creeps. I can't even tell you if he's an attractive person. Like I can't even get because I'm just so thrown off by his energy.
The first, when they joined the show, I still to this day I contend that like Drew and Ralph had one of the best intros like of a newbie on a show that like we've ever seen. Because like that dinner with them like arguing about where he was and all, like they had a great first episode. Like that was a great introduction for them. I was like, ooh, like they're coming to deliver, okay, but. That like first episode, everyone was like, "Oh my God, that is the hottest person I've ever seen before." Like, wow, good job, Drew. Directly after that episode, everyone was like, "Yeah, you can fucking keep him. No, nobody wants that. Sorry, nobody wants that."
No, like him taking his shirt off is like a nightmare,
right?
Especially doing it like sexually, especially like being like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm in this fucking strip show." Oh God,
ooh, right?
Oh, no.
Ooh, okay. So one of the things we've talked about multiple times on this podcast because we've covered Atlanta for seasons now. Mm-hmm. We've talked about what the hell Ralph does for a living. Oliver asked Candy on Speak On It, and Candy was like, "I don't know what he does. It's some kind of," she said, some kind of consulting. And I think I heard from someone else that he was in like the finance world. So we're going to go with financial consulting. But I'm like,
consulting.
Their house is like nice.
Yeah.
Like a splash, like a waterfall in the back going into the pool.
Is that partly Drew?
It's gotta be. Like, I don't know what it is.
Residuals or something? I don't know.
Right, I'm from the game. I don't know. But I don't know what it is. But, you know what? She does get, like, those, this is so shady to say, but she does get those, like, straight to DVD movie deals and, like, that kind of stuff. So,
they do
straight
something.
to voodoo, I guess. Right. So, I don't
do
know.
Straight to voodoo.
I just don't want them to, like, wind up in, like, the federal court system. Like, I get nervous when I don't know what people do and they have, like, nice stuff.
Well, that is a valid concern, because now that they're getting divorced, I bet Drew is going to find all kinds of financial shady shit he's been doing.
Right.
I am sure of it.
Right. Exactly.
Because they get all into the finances because they got to split it up, and I am just waiting for
She already said he's a serial cheater, so she knows some stuff now.
Yeah. Like, the fact that she didn't know, that's just so sad about Drew, is that she really wanted to believe so much that she was in genuine denial. Right. Denial is a really weird thing. I had this manager when I worked at a restaurant, like my first serving job, and her husband was the bartender, one of the bartenders, and he would get blackout drunk. Blackout drunk. I'm talking like falling down. And what was weird was watching this woman in complete denial of what was in front of her eyes. And they started this whole bit that she's like, yeah, he's hypoglycemic, so he has to take these glucose pills. And we're like, honey, what? Girl. Yeah. So denial's weird.
She's like Jen on OC. Like,
she's like Jen on OC.
Yeah.
It's a very bizarre thing. It is like, it's right in front of your eyes, and you're just like, not looking at it.
What? I always wondered too, like, how much of it is actually denial and how much of it is, okay, well, I've accepted a lot of this in my personal life. Yeah. Y'all, the public, are just finding out about it, and now I got a lot of y'all to make it seem like I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I like that. That's a good theory.
My theory about a lot of stuff is that I don't think that, this is so crazy to say out loud, but I don't think cheating is as big of an issue for a lot of people we see on TV as they make it out to be. I honestly think that these people know their husbands go off and cheat, but like the lifestyle, they're not ready to give up, so they're okay with it. But now that you've gotten in front of the camera, and now that people can like say like, oh, that's your husband? I screwed that guy like in a hotel like 3 weeks ago. Like,
no, you're
they
right.
can say all this stuff out loud, then you have no choice but to face it. So it's like, damn, I was okay with him cheating, but now I gotta act like I'm not okay with it because y'all don't want me to be okay with it. And it's that kind of thing sometimes. I feel like that's like 80% of what like the cheating stuff is. I don't think anyone is really blindsided by their husband cheating on reality TV, honestly.
I totally agree with this assessment, honestly, because cheating is always such a storyline, but it's because the other cast members make it a big deal. And I think it's exactly what you said. Like, I can't be admitting to people that I just know you do this. Right. Like Karen and Ray. They're like trying so hard to convince us that, you know, it's just paradise. It's just 100% paradise. And like I've said a million times, I hope Karen's getting some D on the side.
Right.
Because she deserves it.
Needed.
That man, Ray, he doesn't want to do anything.
No.
All their rooms are fabulous. All of them. Like, fab.
Way better than Birmingham.
Oh my God. That was like traumatizing.
Right. Can I go to Birmingham like kind of regularly? Like probably once a quarter because we love Birmingham. I feel like I stay in way better hotels than like what Kenya had them in. Like, where was that? Like, where were y'all? No.
Face you just made was so funny.
You know, I have a thing about a bad hotel room.
I have a thing about a bad hotel room. I have a hotel horror story from New York. We arrived, we got into to the hotel at 9 p.m. And because my friend John used his credit card points.
Yes. Okay.
And so don't worry, he's going to talk to his credit card about getting the points back.
Okay.
We pulled up, and it was, first of all, it was like in Times Square area. And I was like, why did you do this? Like, we don't want to be here.
All those lights. Oh my God.
Oh God. It was like in that vicinity. So it was super congested and crowded. And there were like probably 15 people sitting on the steps leading up to the hotel. And I was like, not good. We walk in and there is a printed out like sign that says be back in 30 minutes on break.
Stop it.
And the guy that, and I don't know, I'm assuming he's like some maintenance guy, was like, yeah, he's not here right now. You just go sit over there. No instructions on where to go. I'm like, so it's already bad. Then we get to the room. 30 minutes go by the way.
Yeah. Okay, finish. I'm blown right now.
Yeah. 30 minutes. Maybe fine, maybe 20, but a while.
Way too long. They should be there.
Be 0 times, 0 minutes. And the guy was like, hi. Like, he wasn't even apologetic. He was, we get to the room, open the door, and if anyone has ever had a carpet get
wet,
soaked, that's what it smelled like. It was one king size bed. The bed had a stain. The sheets had the top of it. We didn't get undercovers or anything.
Right.
But we walked in and I'm like, how do I tell? I'm like, because John had just told me that he wasn't a hotel snob. So I was like, fuck, I hope this isn't going to be. But we both went, we're not staying here at the same time. Okay. And I was like, all right. So we got on the horn and I'm like, we're throwing money at this problem. I don't fucking care. I don't care unless the rate is like $800 a night. No, but like, we will pay for something right now. Okay. The James Hotel took us in, us refugees in, and it was on fucking point.
There you go.
We were so much more grateful for the room because we had seen the bad room. I think if we had just walked into that room, we would have been like, cool, it's a room. But because we had just been in hell, we were like, look, a room with air conditioning and a clean bathroom. Like, right. And this soaking wet floor. It was leaking from like whatever the unit was right there. It was disgusting.
You know that like send chills down my back. Y'all, for y'all that don't know, I'm in corporate hospitality, like in my day life. But that like no, aside, the wet carpet I've experienced before too. I had to get another room. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. The smell of it is. There is nothing worse than a wet carpet smell. It is because the chances are they already weren't cleaning that carpet like they should have been.
Exactly.
So it's like wetness on top of dirt too. So it's no. But the be back in 30 minutes sign, that blows my mind. And I get it because sometimes hotels are just understaffed.
Totally,
they can't do it. But like, no. Get out of here.
Both John and I were like, I think that would have been a hotel we like died at. Like someone would have mugged us or murdered us. And we were like right by the stairwell. Like the room was like right next to the stairwell. I was like, I don't trust it. I don't trust any of it.
Just like that true crime story in California where like that hotel, you know, the girl like went to the hotel to stay, but like it never came out. I forgot what it was.
It would have been that.
That's what it would have been. Oh God.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
Thank God we got out of there. Yeah, no bad hotels. Unacceptable. No. Always unacceptable. Monietta has a whole orphanage in Africa.
Look at her.
Just dropping that like it's no big deal.
Right.
You get it. Love it. Meanwhile, and now I want to talk about this. So, Candy and Kenya, they're chatting on a terrace, and Kenya's like, I knew, Roy told me about Marlo, like he let me know already, so I wasn't even shocked. I'm totally unbothered.
Yeah.
And then she throws shade. He does not have to pay for pussy. It was not a date. So, okay. But then Sonia talks to Marlo, and it's like, why was it such a big deal when Kenya was getting a DM from Martell, but now it's not a big deal that he DM'd you? And I'm like, what are you mad at exactly?
She goes harder for Sheree and Marlo than they go for themselves. And it's weird sometimes. Like it's truly gotten like to the point of like, Sonya, what are you doing? What battle are you fighting? Yeah. It's so weird.
Like, you're poking at this, and I don't even think Marlo would have caught on to that.
Right.
The thing was, Kenya was concerned that Martell would tell Sheree a different version of the story.
Right.
And she wasn't sure Sheree knew. As where it's not a big deal to Kenya because Kenya knew.
Right.
So please explain again, Sonya, what your problem is.
Weird.
She's just finding anything she can. She really is. She's very mad at Kenya.
Yeah.
She's
clearly,
mad at Kenya. Yeah, she's got a lot of resentment there. So Kenya's right to keep a distance.
And she's unfollowed her on social media in real time now. So she's
Kenya
done
unfollowed
with
Sonya?
Mm-hmm. She's done with her. There we
Good.
go.
Okay, they're at the dinner now. Courtney confronts Kenya over what she had said to her, what she had said about her to Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenya was just like, look, I asked you to stop touching me because at first it was fun, but then it became very condescending. Mm-hmm. And Courtney goes, well, to me, I'm getting mean girl energy from you. And I don't think you're like that to the rest of the ladies. I kind of disagree with that. Like, obviously with Candy, but like Kenya's pretty mean to people when she feels like being mean. She just shuts down. She's like, and I'm done.
Right.
You know, like she gets like that. Mm-hmm. But then Kenya says, like, I appreciated you, Drew, stepping in and explaining like it was a simple boundary. And Drew is like the peacekeeper. You know, she's like, and I also did talk to you about Candy's faces and how they don't mean anything. And they showed the collage of Candy's faces, various faces. You know, I didn't even clock because we're so used to seeing Candy's face, but I didn't even clock what it must feel like when you actually are talking to her and she's making that face at you. And you're like, what? What is
you know, my Atlanta brain always remembers like the most random stuff. Do you remember that it was a Christmas episode where like Miss Juicy was there, Nene was there, like Kenya came like dressed as the Grinch. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah,
back in the
Grinch. That was so weird.
The episode we didn't see it, but when Portia followed Jamie out to that alley and beat her ass.
That was that same episode.
That episode. So, but I remember, you know, Candy and Nene just never really see eye to eye on anything. But Nene came around because I don't think she was on that season, but she you know, popped up every now and then. And so she came around and she like pulled Candy to the side just to talk to her. And Nene was like, I'm sitting here talking to Candy. And she has a look on her face that just like she wants to eat me alive. And like Candy literally was just looking at her like the whole time. Candy's face always tells it all. Like she cannot hide anything on her face ever.
And she doesn't even try.
Right.
She doesn't even edit it at all. She's like, this is how I feel about it. So then Drew confronts Sheree for bringing up the chef suing her situation, which is fair. Sheree was being shady, and she goes, the problem is you were also talking about it behind my back, and you brought it up to Courtney, who then told Ralph, who then told me. But Sheree does the thing that we talked about. She deflects immediately.
Yes.
And brings up and stutters, like you said.
Shit.
And it's like, brings up the reunion and Drew saying something about She by Sheree. And she's like, we talked about this. Like, what are you doing? Exactly.
They flash back to the moment because it was her, Kenya, and Sheree, Drew, and Kenya, like in that thing, getting like those IV bags or whatever. And they like hashed it out, but like, that's what Sheree always does. She can never like stay in the current. She always has to go back like, well, remember season 5 when you said like, girl,
it's so true. She does do that. Yeah, she always refers back to like she never forgets something.
Right.
Weird. All the women, because like all the women try to back up Drew. Like Sheree's like, that is not true about the She by Sheree. No one asked you to give it back. And everyone's like, yeah, they did.
Right.
Like we were told to put it back on the rack. But then Marlo isn't head to toe She by Sheree. She's like, I don't know what they're talking about.
That was really funny.
It's so perfectly ridiculous. She has a hat, a shirt, something else.
It's the best part about it is that the hat is sitting on like the biggest hair that Marlo's had in this confessional, unless she's having the best time. See, I wouldn't have given this like any credence because I'm like, well, maybe this is a click versus click thing. Like it is like Kenya and Candy saying they didn't get anything either. But then Sonya says, yeah, they came out. I didn't get anything. They took it back. They said they were giving us stuff, but I didn't get anything. So I'm like, okay. To me, that means it's true. And nobody got anything. And Marlo was just happened to be the one that was quick thing. Sheree like literally got on Twitter too. And she, you know, her story changes every time.
Every fucking time.
She gets on there. She was like, they came out and they had the, you know, the rack out there. So I guess the ladies just weren't quick enough. I just don't know. You know, like, what? What are you talking about?
That doesn't even make sense.
No.
That doesn't even make sense.
At all. They
weren't quick enough. It was just them.
Right. And of course
it wasn't at a sale.
Right.
It was just them.
And of course, now she's had like months and months to think about it. So now she's like, well, I was going to give production stuff too. So of course they grabbed some stuff and all that. I'm like, okay. All right, whatever.
No.
Lord.
But Drew, I thought, did an excellent job staying on task in this scene. Because she can we know Drew. Drew can be the worst to talk to. It's like last year was just she fought with everybody.
Yes.
But she's like trying to explain why it hurt her that Sheree brought up the lawsuit and didn't just talk to her. And Sheree goes, doesn't feel good, does it?
God.
And so then Drew's like, so this is to teach me a lesson? How are you going to talk about healing when you can't heal your damn self?
Boom.
How? Sheree, and then Sheree gets like all like, because she knows that she got her, and Sheree is not as quick as we think she is in the moment. And she claims that she did bring it to Drew, and Drew's like, but Drew's then doing the Drew. She's like, so you're incapable. Thank you for letting me know. And Sheree goes, and you're a liar. And I'm like, for what?
Right. What?
Everyone is confirming it.
Right.
Everyone.
Literally, Candy said, so you think we're lying about this? Sheree goes, yeah. Like, why would all these people lie on you about this? Like, none of them have She by Sheree clothes. Like, it's an easily verifiable thing. Like, they don't have the clothes.
And like that is the delusion on Sheree that I'm like, how do you get through life?
Right.
It's so crazy. And then Drew got me so bad. She's like, I'm being vulnerable and telling you how I feel. So I would like you to acknowledge and then we can move forward. And Sheree goes, don't tell me what I need to acknowledge. God. And Drew goes, okay, I would like you to apologize. How about that? Like, does that work for you? And then she goes, I would like you to apologize and own that you lied about She by Sheree. Drop it.
Jesus.
But Drew goes, okay, but one thing at a time. That's deflecting. Well done. How you were carrying the information around was incorrect and it hurt my feelings. And then Sheree's like, okay, so first of all, you said she didn't get anything. And I'm like, oh my God. You have to drop this. And then Kenya's like, at this point, what do you need to forgive her? By the way, we're all saying we didn't get She by Sheree. Like all of us.
Right.
It's not like she's the only one telling it and all of us are denying it. Like, no, I got it. We're telling you.
Everyone.
Okay.
A hat, a sweatsuit, nothing, a t-shirt, didn't get a thing.
They took it. Okay.
Sure. But it sounded like Marlo took all the shit.
Marlo knew how to do it. She's like, I just stole it. Like they told me to give it back. I just didn't care.
Right.
That's probably what happened. And then I feel like they cut something because the food comes and someone goes, so we're just going to put a pin in it for now. And I was like, I don't know what they cut out exactly, because then Drew leaving crying, it just kind of felt almost out of nowhere. Like, because Drew's tough. She can handle conflict left and right. Like, that's Drew. But, like, I was surprised it made her emotional.
Yeah.
It
felt like we missed something. So I'm wondering, like, what we get to see next episode to, like, resolve that.
Yeah. Next time, Kenya falls and like, slips and hurts her back. And I bet you she fell on the mic pack.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
Because I was like, that, come on, Kenya. But then I was like, oh, wait, they have a mic pack on? Ow. Monietta is going to confront Marlo for bringing up dating Roy, which I'm kind of bummed about because I'm like, oh, please don't do any more of this because they're just going to keep getting on you for fighting their battles.
Right. Yeah.
But then Monietta and Sonia get into it. But from the footage, it almost looks playful.
Right. We'll see.
Because she's like, hold me back, but like kind of kidding. So I'll be disappointed if they try to build it up like it was a real fight and it's just like not. And then there's some like after cameras are down footage of them all fighting with like on a camera that's like,
somebody
I don't even know what it is.
Somebody said something like she keeps touching me or something like that. Like,
was that what it was?
Yeah, I'm like, what? So I don't know what's going on.
And then Candy goes like, you were saying I'm lying or something like that. So
Candace always so shocked when people say stuff to her.
She is, huh? She's always like, me?
Right. You saying I do that?
She does do that. It's always so shocking to her. Good point. Okay, well that wrapped us. I know we were supposed to do last week and this week's Atlanta, but we needed to do RHONY, and it's like you guys watched it.
It's all right. You got it.
Good.
You got it. Because the OG dinner didn't give like it needed to anyway. So
you're right.
We don't need to talk about Kim Zolciak. It's all right.
The OG dinner was actually creepy.
Yeah,
I was like, Dre, this was not a look. This is not a good look. And why was Lisa wasted when she got there? Like,
she's Lisa always wasted.
Drunk. She is, isn't? She's always drunk. She was drunk last season. She was like slurring and not making sense. And Deshaun was like, I want to go. Yeah. She was like, I'm the one with sense here. But Kim, not the comeback she thought it was going to be.
No, it really showed you that like RHOA was Nene's show. Like if they're gonna do an OG thing, they needed Nene. So it just yeah.
But Sheree would never.
No,
because Sheree's so insecure.
And Bravo
Sheree
would never know either. So
Bravo clearly would never either.
Right.
But Bravo is really forgiving, and if she
do you think they'll work it out one day?
I do, because she needs to like come correct about some stuff. Yeah, I think. And they would absolutely, like, think about it, in like 5 years, everything will be forgotten. It'll happen. I feel like it'll happen. I know. All right. Anyway, let's wrap it up because that was a sad thing to end it. Let's end on a better note. Okay. What can we talk about? I got nothing.
I mean, I'm about to go and watch Stars on Mars, and I think they're.
Oh, I haven't watched that in
Portia's on
weeks.
I'm still kind of into, because I like.
Oh shit! I forgot.
They're getting in like the drama. It's not just like a little like light comedy. They're kind of getting into like the drama of it all, because like Lance Armstrong, I guess he's like said stuff about like trans people in sports and that kind of stuff. So like they've been like actively like bringing up stuff that he said publicly like out on the show, and he's like supposedly like a really liberal person, but like I don't know, but they're like calling him out, and like I guess he's like ready to quit the show because he's sick of like Ariel, like that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's like the fact that he is fighting with a young woman,
right?
He's gross.
Fighting with Modern Family.
This was not what he thought it was going to be. I don't know what he thought it was going to be, but like it's only introduced him to the world as like an asshole,
right? Exactly.
As we're like other people, it's kind of been good for them, but like him, you look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, right? Ugh. Fighting with all of these women, like what's wrong with you? All right, so I will get caught up on that. All right. Okay. Anyway, guys, make sure you're following Kendrick at Reality Comics 2. Why did I just forget that for the first time? That was crazy.
That's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
You were trying to say the podcast name. It's
I
okay.
was. Sorry. The podcast is Reality Comics 2, and it is available everywhere. Make sure you are listening, and that's it. Love you guys. Mean it. And we'll see you next time. Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.